If he's not willing to get down on one knee for you, don't you open up two knees for him.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a new podcast or a new interview by Cam Newton interviewing, I don't know if it's one of these popular men, but just wait, let me explain what this video was, why it's gotten conversation. I feel like it's a very important conversation to have here on this channel. Is this man was in the Cam Newton Freaky Friday show, and they were talking. Is it Freaky Friday? Funky Friday? Not Freaky, Funky Friday. And they were talking, and this man wanted to talk about how the dynamic of marriage, a man treating a woman, and how a man's value comes from how well he treats the woman in his life, his mother and his wife, and how the two important people in a man's life is his wife and his mother, and how a man should command respect if only he has taken care and nurture of his wife. And also went on to talk about women and how women, if the sisters stop busting it wide open and putting terms and conditions for it, then the marriage will be a more valuable thing for women and all that. And why not to say a whole lot of things that has strike conversation and has strike conversation on both ends. Some people are here for it, some people are not here for it. I really need you guys to watch this video to the end because some of the take here was very, 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 very interesting. So anyway, guys, let's go, especially Cecilia's own part. So you want to watch video to the end. So let's go check out the video that's gotten people talking, people's response to it, and then we'll come back and talk more.
If he's not willing to get down on one knee for you, don't you open up two knees for him. Ooh. So you should show commitment before you get access to this mother of civilization and this queen. And that if women would say no, I guarantee you there'll be a whole lot more holy matrimony and covenant connections and sacred unions going on. Sisters, I promise you, if you really knew your value, you would stop giving men discounts. Ooh. If you really knew your value, you come off that clearance rack. And get back behind the glass where the real valuable stuff is at. You know, when you go to a store, the clearance rack got stuff. You got a large hanger with a medium shirt and pants don't fit this outfit and stepped on stuff a few times. But whenever you behind the glass, we was getting my wife's ring serviced, and there was a sign on there that said, we are only allowed to show you one of these in this glass at a time. And I asked him, I said, why is that? He said, because of how valuable they are, we don't want to take the risk of being distracted and somebody being able to have two or three and they take one and we don't realize that it happened. That's the same way that our women have to be. Just like the valuable ring or bracelet could only be looked at one item at a time, you should have in your mind as a woman that, look, if I'm the only one you looking at and considering right now. And if I'm not, then, you know, I'm going to have to move on. Best among you is he who is kindest to his wife and his mother. Those are the standards. Why those two? Because mother is the one that brought you into the world and has you where you are. And wife is the one that's going to take you into the future even when you're gone. So these two, my wife and mother, are the two that you should be judged by to see whether or not that you should be worthy of respect. And I found out accidentally on purpose that you can measure the goodness and the greatness of a man by the size of the smile of the woman in his life's face. If the woman that he's with is not happy, that's a sign that that's not a good man. If he's a good man, her smile is always going to be big on her face, because when a man is in love with a woman, her needs and wants become his goals. Anything that she wants, she's always thinking. The minister said like this, love anticipates need. So when you really love somebody, you in love with somebody as a man, you're listening to what she likes. What does she want? And you're always trying to be there to manifest it. So if you have a woman, you see a man and woman, a couple together, and she's never happy, that's a bad testimony on part of that man. If he's a good man or a great man, she gonna have a good smile.
Look at Cam's face.
I see you looking at your queen's smile right now in your head. Is she smiling at Brother Cam?
Yeah.
Talking to the wrong
She
person.
better be, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
No matter who Cam Newton interviews, it's like he wants himself to continuously feel bad. Like the recent guy he interviewed was basically like, the best among you is a man who respects his wife and mother. And it's and it's like, and Cam is just sitting there like, like taking it all in. And I'm just like, you got to commend him. Like, I commend him for being able to sit there and take in like these really great guys and men with their mentality, even though he is not the example in which like they are speaking about. Like, he is not one of the quality men that they are usually talking about. I give it up to you, Cam.
If he's not willing to get down on one knee for you, don't you open up two knees for him. Move on.
Now, who invited this man to Cam Newton show? You know Cam Newton ain't trying to hear none of this. But I will say this, though. You know, I'm picking up what this brother is putting down. But I fear that this is going to make marriage just something for people to do. Like, it won't mean nothing for nobody. Like, in return, you're going to end up decreasing the value of marriage, because now you have it where people are just giving these ultimatums in their relationships, and the men are just going to marry them because they want to have sex. Because then, as women, we're going to be thinking, okay, does this man really love me and want to marry me and spend the rest of his life with me? Or does he just want to spread my needs? So me personally, I don't agree with going about things this way, because you're just pressuring somebody to make a decision that they really aren't prepared for. And hoes still exist at the end of the day. So if a man wanted to spread somebody's legs, he know where to find the hoes, because some women just like to be whores.
If it refers to you, then it refers to you. And a hit dog will holler.
Man is in love with a woman, her needs and wants become his goals. Anything that she wants, she's always thinking. The minister said like this: love anticipates need. So when you really love somebody, you in love with somebody as a man, you're listening to what she likes. What does she want? And you're always trying to be there to manifest it. So if you have a woman, you see a man and woman, a couple together, and she's never happy, that's a bad testimony on part of that man.
I feel like this is a really good topic to talk about, because we have a pandemic of men that are very terrible. They're very mentally ill. They don't care about women. They only view women as objects. They don't respect women. And then they want us to be submissive. They want us to cook for them. They want us to do all these superficial things where you're not even a safe place for me. You don't even respect me as a person, let alone a woman. You put me in uncomfortable situations. You've told me outside of your mouth that you are emotionally intelligent, but you couldn't tell when you were making me uncomfortable. These men are dangerous and definitely poison in a society, because most of these athletes and people in the government and people in sales, they have leadership and they're not good leaders. If somebody is not a good person, if they don't have good morals, like he said, if his woman is not happy and the women in his life are not happy, his mom and his wife, he's not a good man. He's torturing women, and there's so many men, so many countless men in all these different industries, all of these high industries that are destroying women on a daily basis. And if men don't love women and children, we will have to figure out some way to survive, because we're not enough. It doesn't matter what we do, we're not enough for these men. It's always something. It's always like in control or narcissistic, or you want to make me feel less than and try to humble me, but you're not even a good man. You're not a good person. And for you to feel as though you need to humble me,
Stroke your ego.
it's really crazy out here the way these men think. And I think it's very, very sad. And I think it's very, very pathetic. And I think it is time for men to start taking accountability for their actions, and stop blaming everybody else for what harm they've done to are the women, when you could have been a man and you could have learned how to have self-control. Like, you learn how to do everything else. You want to learn how to bend somebody over backwards. You want to learn how to finesse somebody out of whatever you finessing them out of. You learn how to do everything. So, but you can't learn how to be a better man. That's where we just stop. That's a problem.
If he's not willing to get down on one knee for you, don't you open up two knees for him. If women would say no, I guarantee you there'll be a whole lot more holy matrimony. And if you really know your value, you come off that clearance rack and get back behind the glass where the real valuable stuff is at.
Now listen, I love seeing Cam Newton squirm around like his skin is too small because he got called out as much as the next person. But y'all have to stop passing this clip around because it doesn't mean what you think it means. Why is it always a Negro in the institutions where women are the most taken advantage of and abused who want to tell women how to protect themselves? I always hate that stupid analogy, and it's always a Negro from the Nation of Islam. Oh, you should be hidden things that are valuable or down in the mines like gold, or they're behind glass. First of all, let's discuss your stupid analogy. Glass is fragile. Glass is more fragile than diamonds or gold. So glass is not protecting anything. It is the armed security. It is the emergency call alarm button that is protecting the valuable objects in the store. So what you're saying is a self-drag. It is not up to women to protect themselves by being modest and covering themselves up and whatnot. It is up to men to protect women from the incursions of men. So if you're saying women are being taken advantage of and whatnot, that's on you. That's your fault, according to your analogy. Because where's the security? The other thing he said is, if women would say no, if women would close their legs, there'd be more holy matrimony. Right, yeah, men would marry you before they lie to you and cheat on you. Like your former leader, Elijah Muhammad. He got married in 1917 to Clara Muhammad. And then, after he had 8 children with her, he fathered at least 9 with a bunch of underage girls. See how holy matrimony and waiting for marriage and covering up from head to toe didn't do anything to give Clara a covenant commitment and a sacred union like he was talking about? Yeah, he got married before he slept with her. And then after he got married, he slept with a whole bunch of other women, using his position as the leader of the Nation of Islam to do it. Because Muhammad never denied these charges. He said these were not affairs. He was married to all these women, except his wife didn't know about any of them. It was not public knowledge. There were no marriage ceremonies. There was nothing on the books. And he lied continuously. And not to mention, the girls were underage. Here are some newspaper articles where this was all covered in detail. And 9 is only the confirmed number. Some Nation of Islam scholars put the number of extramarital children he had as high as 21. Wow. And please never forget, part of the reason Malcolm X is no longer here today is because he called out the nation's leader for the horrific things he was doing to young girls. He persuaded Evelyn X. Williams and another woman of the Nation of Islam to file paternity suits after being victimized by Elijah Muhammad. And according to this article, both women suffered extreme harassment in the nation and were forced to move when explosions occurred next to their shared living quarters. In other words, he dropped the you-know-what on them to scare them into silence, and Malcolm was later assassinated, so we know what happened there. Even Clara Muhammad, the wife of Elijah Muhammad, experienced extreme harassment when she withdrew from public life after all these allegations became public. People tried to force her. People tried to punish her for not standing by her man, despite the fact that she was far more educated than her husband and actually helped him attain the education he needed to lead the Nation of Islam. Despite the fact she went through everything he went through, including being jailed for sedition for speaking out against the war and the discrimination that happened against Black Americans. When he cheated on her in front of the whole world, she was punished by the Nation of Islam for not turning a blind eye. Listen, I love it when Black men call out other Black men. I love seeing Cam Newton squirming around in his seat. But I will always tell you all, religious men are the biggest grifters going, okay? They will truthfully and rightfully call out men in the world for the things that they do wrong, but it's just a scam to get you on their side. Because then they're going to do you a lot worse under the guise of religion in privacy. As far as I know, Cam Newton's children still are in the single digits. The so-called prophet had over 20 by innumerable women, okay? We can't count the number of affairs he had. And that was without the aid of social media. Without the aid of technology, he had to go from woman to woman individually. He had to meet them himself. So I can't tell you what kind of damage a religious man like that could do in the 21st century. And this kind of rhetoric is coming back into popularity. Please, Black women, do not fall for the sucker's game that if you were more modest, if you wore your skirt down to the floor, if you were this, if you were that, you would be treated better. If a man is going to treat you well, he's going to treat you well. He's not going to put conditions on it. Cam Newton should be called out, and religious men should also be called out, because the main men who have something to say about how women should stay covered up are themselves 304s. The first time I ever heard that, oh, diamonds should be in mines, everything precious is covered up, is under the earth, was from Muhammad Ali talking to his daughter Layla. Sir, how many times have you been married? How many children do you have? The answer to that question, Muhammad Ali was married 4 times, 9 children. Why don't you mind your damn business? Because it's not about protection, it's about control. If it were about protection, it wouldn't matter if a woman had on a skirt to the floor and a hijab or a G-string. If you're going to protect, you're going to protect. Because they love to tell Black men it doesn't matter what they wear. Oh, it doesn't matter if you're wearing a hoodie or a suit. The police shouldn't be harassing you. And it's true. People's behavior should not change based on what you're wearing. But that's a rule that they only apply to themselves. They want to change it up when it comes to women. And they try to convince you it's your fault, it's on you. Oh, well, male nature is such that we get tempted, our eyes. The Bible says if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. Not cover women from head to toe. It doesn't say that. And if you want to go by the Quran, that's fine too. The strong is not the one who overcomes others with his strength, but the one who can control himself. Finally, and most importantly, I reject the idea that women's value is bound up with anything that happens to their bodies or what they do with their bodies. But if these so-called religious men really feel that, why are they not protecting these girls and young women from the incursions of the men who lead them? If you think girls are so valuable because of purity, how come you're not stopping your leaders from preying on them? That would be your job, wouldn't it? Again, the institutions where the most abuse to women and children occurs need to be quiet when it comes to what women should do, because they're not protecting them. It is not up to women to stay behind the fragile glass for protection. It is up to the men to be the security guards, if that is what you believe. But it's not about that. It's about men using religion to control women. It's about dominance, not defense. Because if you cared so much, you would be out here striking out at the ones who use your holy place as a pretense to prey on women and children. But the only people you attack are the ones who pull the covers off of that behavior, like Malcolm X, may he rest in peace. I get it. We wanted to watch Cam be uncomfortable. We're all having fun. But I couldn't let the opportunity pass to say no man has your best interest at heart. No man is telling you something positive for your life. If they had something positive to say, they'd be checking other men. Because men are the ones who do the incurring. Men are the ones who are doing the attacking. Men are the ones who are doing the grooming. And men are the ones who are in dereliction of duty. Men are the ones who are not doing the protecting. It's like pregnancy. Why the devil are you talking to women about it? A woman can get pregnant once in a year. A man can impregnate somebody different every night, as proven by Elijah Muhammad. If you really cared about the issue and not about controlling women, you would go to the source. But they don't care about the issue. They care about dominating you. That's it. Like and follow for more.
Oh, love Cecilia's take. Please go down and share your thoughts. I really love to know what you guys think, but keep it respectful. We're not here to tussle, so please keep it respectful, okay? And it's there as a safe space to have conversation. We're allowed to disagree, okay? So, for me, what got me on that clip was the fact of how Cam Newton was very, very uncomfortable with what he was saying, because literally, he was literally like coming for him. That was what got me. But the fact that Cecilia just literally broke it down is the fact that the man is sitting down then telling women what they should do, and that women should like, it's the way the woman carry herself. That's what will make matrimony, not identifying that the fact that it takes 2 people to make a matrimony work, whether you're being covered, you're not being covered. The truth is that does not determine what a man, how a man will treat you. A man will treat you the way a man will treat you. Say a good man is a good man. And the truth is that I don't like the ideology, and you guys know I always push back on whatever society stands for. It's the ideology that women has to be covered, but men don't have to be covered. I still don't get it. Yes, our anatomy might be different, but why do I have to cover and he is okay not being covered? And the truth is that religion is one of the reasons why I stopped religion, or I stopped doing any form of religion is the fact that religion is one thing that is used to control human beings as a whole, but also is one of the used things to keep women quiet and keep women checked. If you cut across it, a lot of religion don't even benefit you as a woman, doesn't even protect you. And these men prey on it, they hold it on it, and they daggle it all over our head. We saw that yellow catch one, my dear future wife. We saw how some of this story, and this men is still not in their brain that those were very dehumanized thing to do to these women, because to them it is a normal thing. That, like, to disrespect women, to treat women that way, it's not a big deal. Like, I can tell the story. It's a thing to be proud of, because you as a woman, especially in the religious setting, you expect to endure, you expect to strive, you expect to hold the marriage together. And I know as women, that's something that we've been taught, like, oh, you have to hold the marriage is for you, hold it. Oh, hey, even in Nigeria, like, they always say that it's a woman that makes a marriage. So you only see that, and this is not universal. A marriage usually ends when the woman decides to walk away, because whether you like it or not, this whole situation benefits men. This whole dynamic of marriage and how the institution of marriage is really benefits men, honestly. But also, as a woman, one thing I would say is that the way you carry yourself and the way you protect yourself, because whether you like it or not, these men are not out here to protect us. Let's just get it out there, because if they're out to protect us, they will start talking to other men, not talking to us. You get what I'm saying? I was having this conversation with a friend the other day. I was like, sometimes people talk about, oh, how you are here to protect us. And who are you people protecting us for? Because I was going at him, I was like, oh, be safe out there. And all that. Like, who are you guys protecting us from? Because the truth is that you are talking about being safe out there, but I'm being safe out there from other men. Not from one gorilla or from one bear out there. It's from another man. So you men should start talking to yourself. Start talking to your brothers, your brothers, your friend, your cousins. Start talking to them and start checking them when you see them do things that make women feel unsafe. So as a woman, one thing you should do is, like, protect yourself. Do what protects you. Guide yourself. Don't think that, oh, they are... And don't allow anybody to shape you just because you want to have a man, just because you want to keep a man. Now takes you away from your authentic part or your authentic belief or your authentic self. Don't ever like it, because whether you like it or not, this life is only one, and you're only here to live this life one. So by the time you are living the life to fit into somebody else's vision, somebody else's ideology, you've lost yourself. And ask yourself, are you really living when you're not living your authentic self? Are you really living? Fat, are you living? So as a woman, just protect yourself. Choose yourself always. Choose yourself always, over and over again. Having a man is not it. And I get what the man was trying to talk about. I like the way Cecilia broke the Islam part of it. But I like what he was talking about, oh, how men should treat women. Valid points. Keep talking about it. Keep telling them. Keep making them feel uncomfortable. But that does not mean as a woman, you lose your guard. Be very intentional with your life. Be very intentional with what you want to do with your life. Okay? So anyway, guys, go down and share your thoughts. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see. And that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.